Hey y'all, I'm back with another Q&A. It's your girl Fertility Queen. Time to catch up. I've been getting a lot of emails, so if I'm not getting back to you soon enough, you know why. I get swamped. But here's one that I'd like to address. This one, I guess her name is Anna as well. Hello, ma'am. I want you to help me out, please, and you're my last hope. So, first, long story short, since I was 13 years old, I noticed that my breasts are different than others. Tubular breast deformity. I remember when my older sister came out of the shower and she was braless, and her breasts were so well shaped and a bit saggy, but it was beautiful. The whole time I was looking at her breasts because it was so beautiful. And one day she asked me why I never show my breasts and why I'm always in a bra. And she also asked me if I'm ashamed, and I said no, but I was. I was so ashamed that I was thinking about to lay myself under the knife. As I didn't have the money for breast augmentations, I asked myself, what can I do after without laying myself under the knife? Okay, so breast enhancement surgery, right? Look, I'm in support of whatever anyone wants to do, but in general, breast implants are really, really bad for you over time. Very few women, I feel like, they're just blessed and they don't have to worry about their body rejecting the implants at some point. But you're supposed to get them replaced every 10 years, right? So that is like a general must. But for some women, they have not replaced their implants and they feel like they're just fine. So I feel like it's kind of a possible silent killer. But anyways, some women are very blessed and they don't have issues, and that's great. To me, that is implants are the absolute last resort, if you must. I'm still all about, fat transfer, fat harvesting, opening up the breast, the bands, releasing the bands. Very few surgeons know how to do this, but I'm all about natural. If you can get the natural, all the better. But anyways, okay, so I asked myself what I can do without laying myself under the knife. After long research, I came to NBE, and I was so happy that there are natural ways to grow my bust. Indeed. After my 2 weeks of research, I found that I can start with the NBE journey, but I wanted to be sure if my temps were okay, blah, blah. You know what I mean. And then I came to your YouTube channel and watched nearly all your videos. I found that you're selling your tonic, and I was so impressed that what it did for you after 3 to 5 months. Yeah, I want to say 3.5 months, I was responding. 5 months, it was like, I think 5.5 months was like my most notable growth spurt. Some women get them early, some women get them later, and that's the thing. It's so tricky because you are essentially your own bag of chemistry. So everyone is different. I would like to know, could the tonic cause any effects for my future? Because I want kids. Actually, it makes you more fertile. So if you don't want kids, don't take this stuff. Do not take bovine ovarian supplements because you will be more fertile. If you're, on birth control and you want to grow your breasts, but you're like, no, I don't, I really do not want to work on my fertility, because that's what it essentially is what we are doing. We are balancing out our hormones, and the side effect is feminization. So, yes, you will have a good side effect, meaning you will be fertile longer. It'll prolong menopause, is what we've been finding out, and restores your fertility. So you will have nice juicy eggs ready to be fertilized when you're ready to have children. Can it regulate my period? Absolutely. It regulated a long-time childhood friend of mine. She was very PCOS, very sick with androgens, and she got pregnant roughly around 7 months of taking it the correct way, meaning not being vegan and not restricting herself. So, healthy cholesterol is everything, and this really does help. It helps you balance your hormones coming from your ovaries. So, yes, it can regulate your period. It might take a while. Some are longer than others. My upper breast is loose, but I wear my bra and it looks full and irritates me sometimes. And my under breast is saggy and has no cushion. It isn't rounded out. Okay, so that means you have a form of either ptosis or the tuberous breast deformity that you mentioned. You could possibly have both. Now, every deformity is different. Some women are able to have double D breasts and be very, tuberous. I don't know how that happens. It's constriction somewhere. And then some women have severe constriction everywhere where you can't even hoard and store fat. And that is very, very unfortunate. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and BO, if it's in a severe stage, if it's like past 1, it's not going to do much. So if you're already tuberous underneath, you have a partial deformity. At least I want you to know that my breast size is a C cup and I want to reach a double D. Now, I don't know what you can reach. It's all very possible. It just depends on what, how severe your deformity is. You can go to the doctor, you can get the x-ray, you can find out how many, or like where your constriction is mainly. You can find out how many lobes you've got. You can really, really research your breast if you wanted to. And then you're just going to have to try it to see, if you do grow and how much you grow and how long it takes. So anything is possible. I'd say it's worth a shot because you're already a C cup. I mean, who's to say? Maybe you can. The shape probably won't be all that great, but at least you definitely get them bigger. I hope you can help me out a little bit because I'm so confused. I know it could be possible to correct it without plastic surgery. Thanks in advance. Okay, so I'm just going to be honest with you. The shape, you're really not going to do a whole lot, It's not going to do a whole lot. My shape has changed only because I had further development. I was coming from like a full A cup, and if that. And so, sure, it changed, but it was actually more noticeable. The larger I got, the more tissue collected up at the top, on the sides, and very little underneath. And I was only a stage 1 deformity. So I noticed, being that I was more severe on my left than my right was more of a rounded, more of a nice normal shape. This one, on the other hand, she was a slower grower. Her shape was different because she was more severe, less meat under the bottom. So that's how I know, because I have 2 different breasts. So yes, right breast is actually bigger than my left, and that's because of my deformity, and it's congenital. It's how I developed in the womb when I was baking in the oven. My mom had hormonal problems, Graves' disease. So yeah, it's inevitable. Whatever was going on with her system, I'm sure, I wasn't getting enough of something, enough iodine, who knows what else, while she was pregnant with me. And then she was sick all the time because I was one of those pregnancies, being their first pregnancy. She was very sick with me. So I'm pretty sure she didn't get enough of stuff. And I think that's why I'm so tiny, because, I didn't get a whole lot. So anyway, you might, look, you can try it. Never say never. Pumping can do a great deal of bringing that blood flow of nutrients to the breast, and you might have a little bit more filling out on the bottom, but be aware that depending on your severity, if you're past a stage 1 deformity, you are most likely only going to see growth on the tops and the sides, and your bottoms are probably not going to change. As I said, research doctors who can release those bands for you, and then you'll have more normal, natural breasts. You won't have to go under the knife and get implants. Doctors like to tell you that that's your only option, but it's bullshit, because I've talked to doctors who know of a method of releasing these constricted bands. They do this also to fit the implant as well. But I know there are doctors that can release a band and suck the fat out of your gut and put that fat in, transfer it where it belongs. So yes, anything is possible. I would definitely give it a shot. I would explore all my options before I even thought about getting implants. So I hope that answers your question. And never give up. I'd say, just try it. You're not going to know until you start growing, right? You'll know where your deformity really is, where your constriction really is. It's more telling, but you're already C cup, so I would imagine that you can pretty much clearly see where your deformity is. So yeah, you probably could get to a D cup. I don't know about a double D, but try it. So that's it for the Q&A tonight. And you know what, guys and gals, go ahead and keep sending me the emails, because there's possibility that it is in my spam and I don't get to check it all the time, and sometimes when I swipe, it swipes and goes to the bin for whatever reason. I find emails way too late sometimes. It's not all the time, it's not common, but if you haven't heard from me, just send another email and I'm gonna get back to you. So yeah, toodles.